Failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently. Guys, do you know J.K. Rowling? Yes, the author of Harry Potter. The Harry Potter book series is considered one of the greatest series in literary history. Beginning its commercial life on this day 20 years ago, J.K. Rowling's first novel, Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, was rather quickly released on June 26, 1997, introducing readers to the orphan boy, raised by his cruel aunt and uncle, who heads off to a magic school after discovering his wizarding heritage and legacy. During a Harvard commencement speech, Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling outlined the importance and value of failure. Why? Simply because she was once a failure too. A few short years after her graduation from college, her worst nightmare was realized. In her words, she said, "I had failure on an epic scale. An exceptionally short-lived marriage had imploded, and I was jobless, a lone parent, as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. The fear that my parents had for me and that I had for myself had both come to pass. And by even usual standard, I was the biggest failure I knew. Coming out these failures stronger and more determined was the key to her success. Apple is one of the most successful companies. The new revolution, Apple started off with two men in garage. Years later, we all know it as a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. Yet almost unbelievably, Steve Jobs was fired from the very company he began. The dismissal made him realize that his passion for his work exceeded the disappointment of failure. Further ventures such as Next and Pixar eventually led Jobs back to the CEO position at Apple. Jobs said in 2005, "I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could ever happen to me." Lost your job today? Keep kicking and you could be just like this guy. Bill Gates was a Harvard dropout. He co-operated a business called Terraform Data, which was a true failure. However, skill and passion for computer programming turned this failure into the pioneer of famous software. Albert Einstein. The word Einstein is associated with the intelligence and synonymous with genius. Yet it is a famous fact that the pioneer of the theory of general relativity, Albert Einstein himself, could not speak fluently until the age of 9. His rebellious nature led to expulsion from school, and he was refused admittance to the Zurich Polytechnic School. His earlier setbacks did not stop him from winning the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1921. After all, he believed that success is failure in progress. To this day, his riches has influenced various aspects of life including cultural, religion, art, and even late night TV. Just because you haven't achieved anything great yet doesn't mean you can't be an Einstein yourselves. Abraham Lincoln, failing in business in 1831, suffering a nervous breakdown in 1836, defeated in his run for president in 1856. Abraham Lincoln was no stranger to rejection and failure. Rather than taking these signs as a motivation for surrender, he refused to stop trying his best. In this great man's words, my great concern is not whether you have failure, but whether you are content with your failure. Lincoln was elected in 1861 as the sixth President of the United States of America. The amount of rejection you received is not a defining factor. Success is still within your hands.